Who's surprised MacFarland's first trade is with the Avalanche? Hey everybody, I'm Sean, that's Floof. Welcome to the PesterLine. We have our first official trade of the offseason, which means that officially the offseason has begun. Ross Colton sent off to the Nashville Predators with Isaac Posh for Magnus Krona, 26th third-round pick, and our third-round pick back that we traded Nashville previously for Parsonen. It might seem to some from the outside that this trade is kind of a whatever, give Ross Colton a better start somewhere. Maybe you could look at it like Ross Colton was very much MacFarland's guy, not Sakic's guy, but it clears up about $4 million cap space for the Avs. It gives us some draft capital back. It gives us our own third pick back, which could lead to some speculation that maybe it's gearing up for offer sheet possibilities. Who knows? I'm not even going to try to figure out what Sakic's doing at this point, but clearing up cap space is great. Now, I liked Ross Colton probably as much as the next guy. The dude was feisty. He skated fast. He was hard on the puck. He was just so snake bit and so streaky offensively that it's hard to say that he really fit the team super well towards the end there. Obviously being scratched for a lot of the playoffs, but you can see what he could bring to a team when he came back in and brought that jump that he's got. But I'm glad he gets a good start, a good fresh start in Nashville. I don't imagine that he's going to get buried quite as bad as he did here in Colorado. It'll be interesting to see what happens in Nashville there. And it'll be super interesting to see what happens for the Avs from here. So let's get into it. Again, I did like Ross Colton as a player. I think he maybe didn't bring what a lot of people would like him to have brought. You look at the way the team is built, and there's a lot of real high-flying, high offensive caliber players on the team in general. And while Colton could bring that in spurts, it wasn't consistent enough. And I think ultimately that's probably what made him the easiest trade. And having that $4 million cap hit gone helps a lot. I think it's easy to look at it and say that this is the first domino to fall this offseason. I don't imagine it's the first cap move that the Avs are going to make. But, you know, it's probably the easiest move. He's again on a $4 million cap hit. He's for a lot of teams, there's a lot of cap space. He's super versatile. He's got cup experience. He's got a lot of playoff experience. He can play center. He can play wing. The guys in the room seem to like him. He seems to be a very high energy guy, but he just wasn't bringing quite enough that maybe Sakic looked at a guy like TJ Hughes and what he did in the AHL in his first stint this year in the playoffs and wants to give him a better crack at it, or a guy like Ivan a better crack at it. I would have said Bardakov, but well, he's not here anymore either. He signed over in Europe, so he's not an option anymore. But looking at it and seeing what this might mean for the future in the next couple of months, I don't think so much that Colton was bad. I think it's something needs to change. We need cap space. You've got to go for it for the next couple of years while this window is still open, even if it's just a tiny, tiny little bit. Let's talk about what we got back here in Colorado. We get the biggest things are the 2 draft picks for this team. In the last 3-4 seasons, the Avs do not have a lot of draft capital. They don't have a lot of great assets to build back up. So trading somebody to get those picks back is a good start. The AHL goalie swap, it sucks a little to see Isaac Posh go because he was pretty good. He was an AHL All-Star. He held down pretty well, but I think with what Miner did in the playoffs, it made him a little bit expendable because Miner was incredible for the Eagles in this playoff stretch this year. And bringing back a guy like Magnus Corona, who played at DU, won a national championship. His numbers were incredible. Hopefully he stays here and doesn't sign over in Europe. If he stays here, you give a lot more of that competition to Trent Miner. And maybe you're looking to the future for Scott Wedgwood. Probably isn't going to be here much longer, and he's got 1 year left on his current deal. You maybe, depending on how this season goes, give him 1 more year, maybe. But if you don't, you need somebody to step up and fill that space in the backup spot to Blackwood. And bringing a guy like Corona in, I think will help with the competition for that backup spot. Now, with the picks, I don't think they're going to use those picks to draft players. I think with where the Avs are currently sitting, those are trade fodder. I think those are going to hopefully allow Sakic some wiggle room and some deals that maybe he's thinking about. Maybe he's trying to work something out somewhere to use those to get something bigger back. When creating the cap space with getting rid of Ross Colton, getting those picks back, that's what I think is going to happen. And I think the writing's on the wall for Nichushkin, which is unfortunate because I really do like Nichushkin as a player. He skates like he hates the puck. Like he's just mad at the damn thing. And I love that about him. But he has fallen off. Getting rid of his cap hit would be huge. And I could see using those one or both of those 3rd round picks that we just got to package with Nichushkin to send out to get a team to take him. So what does this mean? Well, the Avs suddenly have much more flexibility than they did coming into this. They have more cap space. They have more draft assets. And I didn't say a lot, so don't get after me about that. They have more than they had, which is a positive. I would not be surprised if before the draft happens, we see 1 or 2 more smaller deals to set up for maybe something at the draft. It won't hurt them to add some more depth scoring, some more depth defensemen. They could very much use another left-handed guy in the top 4. It could also be to continue with the pattern of accumulating cap space for the trade deadline and just loading up at the deadline and hoping for the best. I would prefer they make some more moves in the offseason so those guys have time to gel. But again, that's just my internet opinion. I'm not a GM. I'm not in charge of anything, but I would like to see that happen. I think that would help greatly to have the team gel a little bit more before that. But what do you guys think? What does this move mean? What's going to happen moving forward? Do you think Nichushkin's gone? Do you think somebody else is gone? I know a lot of people think that Nelson should be traded, and maybe I agree a little bit, but I don't know where you put him. Plus, he was great in the regular season. You can't argue that he did what we expected of him in that second line center role for the regular season. He might have disappeared in the playoffs, but so did Necas and almost the entire team in the Western Conference Finals that we won't talk about here. But yeah, what do you think? What's the next step? What's the next piece to fall here with the newly acquired cap space and draft capital? And again, this organization here in Colorado has very high championship expectations. Getting over the second round hump again is nice, I guess. I don't know. It hurts even more that they really didn't show up in the 3rd round. Like physically they were there, but they didn't really do anything. So I don't know if I would say they got over the second round hump this year. But it is somewhat good to see them get to the conference final again. But like I said before, getting there is not enough with this team. Something had to change. They're out chasing cups, not conference final appearances, not division titles, not president's trophies. None of that matters if you don't raise the big one at the end. As much as I liked Ross Colton as a player, and I'm sure he's a good dude, he seems like he's super fun to be around in all the interviews I've seen and all of the stuff that gets posted about him. I liked him enough as a player. I loved his energy. I liked his versatility, even if it wasn't used very much or very well. But I don't feel like this is a love it or hate it type move. This is very much make some cap space, get rid of one of the expendable guys, bring in some draft capital, see what Magnus Krona can bring since he's played here and won in college before. Maybe he can bring some more fire to our AHL squad, hopefully, to get them over the conference final hump. But I could see this being the beginning of a slightly more aggressive offseason than we've seen before. I don't think I could see there being more than just the older UFA guys or these reclamation projects coming in for, your 1 year, $1 million deal, your year vet minimum deals. I don't see us looking back on this trade particularly and thinking, oh my God, why did we give up Ross Colton? Maybe we do in the future, and we turn around and we use these draft picks to trade for absolutely nothing, like what happened with the second line center carousel for the last 4 years. But it will be very interesting to see where they go from here, what the next couple of weeks before the draft looks like, what it looks like the first day or two of free agency. What do you guys think? Let me know if you think this is going to be just one of those nothing burger type trades where it's just clear some cap space, see what happens. Do you think they use the cap space efficiently? Do they screw it up? Let me know down in the comments. Give me your opinions. I want to hear what you think. I want to talk about it. Maybe Mike and Alex will pop into the comment section on it and give you their opinion too. Who knows? But that's all I got for today. We'll see you in the next one, because God knows there will be a next one. And until then, okay, love you. Bye. Sammy, you're gonna be on YouTube.